And now I'm doing my top 15 favorite TV show characters. No cartoons though. I'd just like to clarify that. Only characters from the real TV shows. Starting off at number 15 on my list of favorite characters from a TV series is Ser Jorah Mormont from Game of Thrones. I've just always liked Ser Jorah as a strong fighter and all-around good person throughout the seasons. He really plays his part throughout Daenerys' whole storyline, and it's awesome how he's so loyal to her and keeps coming back to her even though he betrayed her. Number 14 on my list of favorite characters from a TV series is Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. A giant of a woman and a powerful foe throughout, highlighted by her epic fight against the Hound Sandor Clegane. What I like about Lady Brienne is that she's fearless and can just about fight off anyone who gets in the way of her doing her duty. She's a pretty awesome character, but still only 14 on my list. Number 13 of my favorite characters from a TV series is once again from Game of Thrones. It's Peter Littlefinger Baelish. What I like most about the character is that he's cunning, that you never really know what to expect from him. He's a scheming man, always pretending to help the Starks because he's in love with Sansa. Oh, he's very devious indeed, and that's why he makes it onto my number 13, folks. This one's kind of hard to explain, but my number 12 favorite character is Carl Grimes from The Walking Dead. I guess I don't mean Carl from the early seasons, I mean season 7 Carl. Finally get to see his character develop, and so what I liked about season 7 Carl, I guess, is that he is constantly fearless in the face of Negan, always talking back to him or threatening Negan himself. These are empty threats, but still, go Carl for not giving in to Negan. Kid's grown a pair, so he's pretty good now, I reckon. And that's my number 12 on my list. Oh, I couldn't possibly leave out that one character on The Walking Dead with all the funny punchlines. That's right, coming in at number 11 on my list of favorite characters is Sergeant Abraham Ford. I don't want to say too much, but I like Abraham a lot because I think he's just a zombies killing machine, and with hilarious punchlines like "Mother Dick," "Loose ends make my ass itch," and of course, "Bitch nuts." Definitely one of those memorable characters that just had to make my list, and at number 11 too. Before I get into who my top 10 favorite character is, I just want to point out that my list of favorite characters is it's just gonna be made out of Game of Thrones and Walking Dead characters. That's just the way it is. Sorry. Anyways, kicking off my top 10 of my favorite characters is Glenn from The Walking Dead. Glenn, a second leader to Rick in his group. What I like most about his character is his intelligence and bravery, which defines him as a vital character to Rick's group, and I like how he always gives people a chance to redeem themselves, although sometimes it comes back to bite him in the butt, but it's still really cool how he has all those good qualities about him. Number 10. Number 9 on my list of favorite characters is someone who I find is a very underrated character in the Game of Thrones show. It's Tywin Lannister. What can I say I like about Tywin's character? Well, he is definitely the most powerful Lannister in the TV series, and I still believe that, because even when Joffrey is king, it isn't really that he is, because Tywin was still able to have control over him, especially when Joffrey's acting like a little shit. What I also liked about him was that he was a better strategist in the war against Robb Stark's army. But yeah, I don't know. Probably doesn't deserve to be this high up on my list. But screw it. My number 9. Coming in at number 8 on my list of favorite TV characters is Carol from The Walking Dead. For people who didn't watch the start of this show, well, Carol was just your stereotypical frightened elderly. so it wasn't until quite later in the series that we got to see her turn into a complete badass. I'm telling you people, nobody messes with Carol, not even Chuck Norris, and that's who my number 8 is, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, don't mess with her. For number 7 favourite character on my list is Robb Stark. As I am a fan of House Stark in the show Game of Thrones, it is only fitting for the former King of the North to appear this high on my list. What I like about Robb is that he is a natural leader, so when he was named King of the North, poor old Ned's death was actually a blessing in disguise, and proved to have helped Robb to become the leader that he was meant to be. I liked Robb for his great courage in the face of adversity, and because he's a Stark, but mostly his courage. Winter is coming, and the dead march with it. That's right, folks. My 6th favorite TV character is the leader of the White Walkers himself, the Night King. From Game of Thrones, what I like about the Night King, well, he's a freaking necromancer who can bring back anything that is dead and turn it into an undead. If that's not a good enough reason to like him, then I don't know what is. It's also the fact that every time he comes back into the storyline, I'm just on the edge of my seat, waiting for him to do something big. Definitely one of my more unique picks, but hey, if there is a character I like this much, who can judge? Now entering my 5 favourite TV characters, I'm starting off with Michonne from The Walking Dead. Michonne, the badass zombies killer who wields a katana. Michonne has become such a beloved character to fans in the TV series, so it is no surprise for me to have her as number 5 on my list. What I like about Michonne is that she is fearless and won't hesitate to try and take out anything or anyone that wants to threaten the group. But also that later on in the show, I got to see her develop a more compassionate and loving personality, and so I think that just makes me like her even more. She my number 5. I understand, but if any more words come pouring out your cunt mouth, I'll have to kill every fucking chicken in this room. Coming in as my number 4 favourite TV character is the Hound himself, Sandor Clegane from Game of Thrones. What I like about the Hound character, well, some of his punchlines for starters, but also I like how he's just an angry man who doesn't really like people, thinks of most of them as lots of cunts. I also like the fact that he's really strong, and how sometimes in the show he'll come across a group of randoms, a group of cunts, and just kill them because he wants to. He definitely makes the top 5 on my list, no doubt. We're getting into my top 3 now, folks, so coming in at number 3 of my favourite TV characters, I am kicking things off with no one. Just kidding, it's actually Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Wait, who is that? Isn't that nobody? Okay, but all jokes aside, it's Arya Stark. What I like about Arya the most is the sword that she uses and how good of a fighter she becomes with it. I think she calls it Needle or something. Plus, God help me if I didn't put Arya Stark on my list of favourite characters. If I hadn't, she would have just put me on her list as a list of people she wants to kill. It's my top 2 now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, and it's probably a surprise as to who my number 2 favourite is. It's the Kingslayer himself. It's Jaime fucking Lannister from Game of Thrones. A man without honour, and a man who lost a hand. I like Jaime because, well, I don't know, like, he starts off as a bad guy, but I guess, but he's not really a bad guy. He's loyal to Cersei, but he doesn't like her evil ways. I don't know, I just really like him now because he's more noble and honourable, and even though he's lost a hand, he is still one of the most formidable fighters with a sword. So yeah, one of my favorite Game of Thrones characters. He's number 2. And now, my undisputed number 1 favorite TV character at the moment. He is the most charismatic and baddest villain to ever appear on TWD. That's right, folks. My number 1 favorite character on TV is The Walking Dead's worst nightmare. It's the guy who gives his spiked baseball bat a name and smashes people's brains in with. It's Negan. So what makes Negan my number 1 favorite? Well, it's mostly because he's really good at breaking people. So at knowing what's going to hurt this person the most, and then he just does it. Oh, and I'd better have him as my number 1. He wouldn't settle in for anything less than that. If I was to put him any less than 1, well, all I can say is, I'd better watch my ass, because I could be the next person to meet Lucille. And so, there you have it, guys and girls. That's my list of top 15 favourite characters on TV. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like or a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.